I'm back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing a beer from the Firestone Walker Brewing Company, and they are out of Paso, Robles, California, and this is their Oaktoberfest, the 2022 release. So they're calling this one an oak-aged lager, and the lager style is a Märzen-style Oktoberfest. It comes in at 5.2% alcohol by volume, 20 IBUs at the time of review. This bottle is approximately 7 weeks old. So, full disclosure, I've had some sort of version of this one before, and the reason I say that is prior to the 2021 release of this beer was not oak-aged, despite the fact that the name of the beer is Oaktoberfest. I had this one back in 2014 and I think 2015, and to be honest with you, I did not really like it. To be fair, back then, you're talking, 7, 8 years ago, I really didn't love the Oktoberfest style. It wasn't until the last 3 or 4 years I really have enjoyed the style, so take that into consideration. But I wasn't a huge fan of this one. Then last year, I just recently read a article, and it said that they, for the first time, actually oak age this beer. So what they do is they put a portion of it, they lager it in French oak barrels, and I think they blend it with the base beer, and this is what you get. So anyway, I'm really excited to give this one a go. Like I said, I've had a prior version of this one, but not the oak aged version. So I'm curious to see what the oak aging will impart. Maybe some vanilla and a little bit of oak, maybe a nice smoothness. I don't know. We'll see. Hashtag proper glassware, but also hashtag improper glassware. I've had quite a few people comment on my videos where I'm using like a TQ for a Oktoberfest beer. And they're like, that's the wrong glassware. And I'm like, I know, I don't have a dimpled mug. I used to have one. It broke back in the day. Never replaced it. Considering I have a beer tubing channel, I probably should grab one for next year's Oktoberfest beers, and maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll grab a couple of them just to have them. Anyway, that's beautiful. That looks like a Märzen. It has that deep orange kind of amber color, like a copper color, but not super dark. It has the clarity you expect from a lager. It has about a half finger. It was about a finger, but not a half finger of an off-white, creamy looking head. Decent carbonation, but not crazy. This doesn't have the etching in the bottom to kind of promote the carbonation, so it's good nose. Yeah, just honestly, that oak aging, I'm not really picking up on the nose. This smells like a Märzen. I mean, you get that nice white bread, almost slightly toasted white bread, maybe even a slight brown bread. There's a little bit of caramel, but mostly heavy, bready, slightly biscuity notes. Maybe a little bit of honey. Big malt presence. Then there's a nice, we'll say earthy kind of hop note. Maybe slightly spicy, like spicy, earthy. A little bit of that lager funk, that sulfur. Very, very minute, but it's there. Yeah, I mean, this smells like it's going to be super crisp, clean, and refreshing, kind of like you want from the style. A little bit maybe malt forward in general. I mean, that's kind of what the style is. I mean, not super malt forward, but, a little bit of the malty characteristics that you're looking for out of this beer. So let's get into it. Prost, everyone. That is exceptionally smooth. That might have been the oak aging there. I mean, this is not as boisterous and effervescent from the mouthfeel. Wow, hang on, I just kind of break from it. What am I tasting? Yeah, from a mouthfeel perspective, it's a little bit smoother than I anticipated for the style. That's probably the oak aging. So, I think this one's nice, firm, medium body, maybe a touch over, 5.2%, really nice. Mouthfeel, again, it's spritzy on the tongue. First half of the palate, it's dancing on the tongue, all that carbonation, but second half, it has a smooth, almost creamy-esque sensation, but just more of like a super smooth finish on this one. I will be honest with you, I don't think the oak is imparting a ton of flavor here. Maybe the dryness is a slight oak tannin dryness, but very minute, no vanilla or anything. The nose carried over. There is like a white bread, slightly toasted, we'll say. Slightly toasted white bread, a little bit of caramel, slight hints of like a toffee, honey, something like that. As it passes through, that earthy, slightly herbaceous, spiciness hits, very, very minute, not over the top. And then again, finishes almost full on dry with a very mild bitterness. Yeah, pretty well balanced. It's nice. Here's the thing. The actual flavors of this one aren't kind of blowing me away, but I do like the mouthfeel of this. It is a little bit sweeter. Like I said, it's, you know, semi to full on dry. Definitely, but I think there's like a sweetness at the front of the palate. Reminds me of like honey or something of that nature, like a little bit of like a sweetness that isn't, you know, it's derived from the malt, but is, this is the second one I've gotten honey in, so maybe I've just been missing the boat on the honey note from the malt of Oktoberfest beers, but it's definitely pronounced. No alcohol to speak of. Yeah, I could drink a shit ton of these. That's kind of what this is made for. Am I blown away by the flavors? No. I think if we're being honest here, and I always try to be honest in my reviews, I think like as far as the flavors are concerned, this is like a high 3.5, maybe low 3.7. But I think I'm gonna bump it up a little bit. And the reason for that is I love that smooth, the smooth nature on the finish of this beer. Like, and I think that's where the oak aging is coming in, because I'm not really getting any, like if I was doing this blind, there's no way I'd be telling you this is oak aged. I know that bitterness, I would be like, oh, you know, it definitely has a dry, you know, kind of, or sorry, not bitterness, the dryness, you know, high dryness. But I don't think I would, you know, put two and two together and be like, oh, that's like, you know, an oak tannin dryness. Because I think that's kind of what it is. I think there's a slight oak tannin dryness and then the smoothness from the beer on the finish. Outside of that, I just a well-made Märzen-style Oktoberfest. I'm going to bump it up a little bit because of that smoothness, but you know, it's nothing amazing, but it's definitely better than when I had it originally. I think I give it like a 3 out of 5, so it's going to get substantially higher than that. So Oaktoberfest from Firestone Walker, the 2022 release. We'll go high 3.75, we'll go 3.8 out of 5. I think that is a fair score for this one. Not blowing me away, but at the same time, I didn't expect it to blow me away, but I will say I do enjoy this more with the oak aging than I did back in the day, albeit, you know, I didn't really like Oktoberfest beers all that much back then, so who knows? Take that with a grain of salt, like you do most of my reviews, hopefully. Price point availability, I think these were $12 a 6-pack. I paid just over $2 for that bottle, so that's fine. And availability, wherever you've seen Firestone Walker, you probably should see this. This is like, you know, obviously they're fall seasonal or late summer to early fall seasonal. You know, I saw it last year. I've seen it most years in my neck of the woods. So if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it. Did you have the prior version like I did and then tried this one either last year or this year and were kind of blown away by it? Maybe you didn't like it as much. I think it's better, but again, I think I had it for the first time in 2014, so you're talking 8 years, and it wasn't oak age. I don't know what I did yesterday. I don't know how I feel about beers, you know, a week ago. So I'm just trying to go off of my memory. And when I checked this in on Untappd back then, I didn't post anything other than like it was boring. Like, I don't know what that means other than it's boring, right? So yeah, anyway, I'd be curious to know if you've had both versions, which one you prefer. And yeah, gonna shut it down. So appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers. Or should I say, Prost.